Oh, jeez Louise. Hello. This video is quite hard for me to film. I just filmed a video on the mice just a week ago. So if any of you are mouse owners, you would know that mice have a lot of pre-existing health issues. They're very prone to cancerous tumors as well as respiratory infections, a lot of other sicknesses that not a lot of rodents often get. So for a couple days, I blamed myself for this bad thing happening until I reached out to a few vets, and they reassured me that it wasn't my fault. I always want to take criticism for my pet care, and I always love for people to tell me what I'm doing wrong and what I should do better, because of course that means a lot to me and I want to take the best care I can possibly make with my pets. About a day or two after I posted the video with my mice, I've noticed Pearl has been acting really strangely. She was eating, she was drinking, she was acting okay other than being really lethargic. So of course I did the best I could and I took her to the nearest animal hospital. So you know, like the coronavirus or whatever, so I had to do sort of like a drive-through thing, so I couldn't exactly be in the exam room. We would pull up to the animal hospital, they would take your pet and they'd look over them, and they would come back out with your pet and tell you what's going on, or they would call you. As I sort of like sat in the car, I got a call from the vet. The mouse veterinarian called me and she told me that Pearl had a cancerous tumor, or so she suspected. They didn't exactly know, but a tumor was really likely. So it broke my heart, to say the least, because I can handle things semi-well. I was more so worried about Maya, or her cage mate. Tumors, as many of you guys might know if you're a mouse owner or a rat owner, tumors in rodents are fatal unless you want to get them surgically removed, which I did ask about that, but the veterinarian told me that there was nothing we could do because the tumor was so large and Pearl was already declining. The first thought that popped in my head was, I just wish I would have, known sooner. It seemed as though the tumor popped up almost overnight, which really surprised me because I was filming, as I was filming the mouse video about a week ago, Pearl and Maya were acting completely healthy. The vet pretty much told me I had three options. The first option was to just let it go, pay the fee, and leave. The second option was to pay a lot of money for pain meds. And the third option was for me to pay a lot of money to euthanize her, or put her down so she wouldn't be in pain anymore. I chose the second option. I paid a lot of money for pain meds for Pearl because I wanted to give her a chance if she had one. I also wanted to give Maya a chance because the last thing I want is for Maya to be lonely. That's what happened. I got prescribed some medication for Pearl. I don't exactly remember what kind of medication she had, and I gave her the medication every 12 hours, as directed by the veterinarian. I would give her 0.01 milliliters of this medication through an oral syringe, and I did that for about 2 or 3 days. On Saturday night, it's Monday right now as I'm filming this, on Saturday she sadly passed. And Maya's very distraught by this, to say the least. I took a day to clean out the cage. I spent a lot of time with Maya while this was happening because I knew Maya was, obviously heartbroken. She's grieving, of course. Pearl was such a sweet girl, and she was like the most social mouse ever. So the Mouse Fanciers forum, I checked that yesterday, Sunday, and I quickly made a post about Maya's situation and what I should do about it. So the veterinarian assured me that I need to get probably 2 mice because female mice do not do well alone. The only thing that I could really do is spend a lot of time with Maya in the process. So to help Maya's situation, I searched adoption centers, I searched Craigslist, I searched everywhere for 2 new mice, but the adoption centers were closed because of the virus or whatever. On top of that, the nearest Craigslist offer was a feeder mouse, and it was really far from my house. I want to say about 3 hours, and I couldn't make that commute. So I consulted the veterinarian about this again, and she said, well, if your last option is to get the mice from a pet store, then do that. Just go for it, because your main priority right now is Maya, and that's to make her happy. So I ended up going to Petco today, about a couple hours ago, and I picked up 2 healthy looking mice, and they are socialized, and they're very young as well. I want to say they're about like 5 or 6 months old. And so I moved them in about 30 minutes ago, and now they're just they're adjusting. I'm relatively new to mouse care, and I've never introduced a colony of mice before. So I'm going to be doing that for the first time. If they don't end up getting along, obviously I would be keeping them in separate cages like they are now. I know you guys really like to see my face in videos for some reason. I don't know why. I guess that's just what I'm going to do because I want to make you guys happy. I don't really know why you guys want to see my face, but it is what it is, I guess. I'm sorry in advance. Hold on. Okay. Hi. You guys have been begging to see my face for like 6 months now, so hi. My tripod is on top of the cage right now, and the mouse is just staring at me. So, I sort of want to explain their enclosure and what's happening. I'm sorry if I sniff a lot, by the way, my allergies are horrible. Maya is in a 40-gallon tank. I will show you. This is my hand in comparison. And the 2 mice, as of right now, are in a 20-gallon. I'm not saying that this is a bad cage size, but I always recommend bigger the better. Crackhead. So yeah, they're in a 20-gallon right now, with a lid, of course, because Maya is an escape artist. So I just don't trust mice anymore. It has a pretty good floor space. I mean, it's pretty good. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is the size of their cage. Here's my hand in comparison. My mom was urging me to get a 10-gallon, but I can't zoom in, but I was not about to do that. I also want to explain why they only have 1 wheel. You should normally give them 2 wheels, but they only have 1 at the moment. How do I explain this? I used to work at a sushi restaurant, right? I was a hostess and a busser and a server. I used to make bank. I quit because I was tired of dealing with drunk customers. I have been kind of living on that last paycheck for the past like 2 months, and I spent the last remainder of my paycheck on this enclosure for the mice just because it was literally the last resort, and if I were gonna spend my money on anything, it would want to be on pets, obviously, like, because I want to give them the best life possible. So yeah, that's what's happening. So yeah, well, I couldn't afford an extra wheel. I was mostly relying on supplies that I already had, because I already had the extra wheel, and I already had their 2 food dishes and their toys and their bedding and their chews and stuff. So I kind of just relied on what I had. Hi, baby. If and when they move in with Maya, they're obviously going to be in a 40-gallon, and they're going to have 3 wheels, including like their flying saucer, which is Maya's literal favorite thing ever. It's kind of ridiculous. We don't have to get into Maya's addictions right now, but I think she needs to seek a therapist as soon as possible. They don't have hanging toys like Maya does at the moment because of the top I bought them. I literally can't hang anything, so that kind of sucks. I know I kind of dropped some bad news on you, and I'm really sorry. I got a 80 out of 100? What? On my grade? What? I'm not failing. I hate that class. If you guys have any tips whatsoever on introducing new female mice, please let me know, or maybe like link videos in the description, or like forums or anything. I will read it. And I'm also going to be doing a ton of research this next like couple days, maybe couple weeks, so watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, home dogs.
Maybe